are on the ROAD on this fantastic, sunny, sucker-free, lollipop-free DAY. How are you all doing out there? Well, me, sort of disturbed, but that's part of the game, being on YouTube. Before we get started, in regards to last night live, all of you content creators, according to the news, not me, according to the news, I saw a clip on the news about YouTube and content creators. Content creators, if you got canceled, material was taken down from YouTube in regards to the information that you left or talked about during the COVID season, you can get your channel back if you lost it. Can't get the videos back. But they said on the news that if you have a channel that got canceled because of what you said about COVID, you can get your channel back. Okay? So therefore, now, whether if it was missed, which they, always, okay. Last night I did a live, and my live was good. It wasn't that on the live went down to 0. And for all of you that's out there in the chat room that I don't see yet, I want to thank you for being here. And if you haven't already pressed the subscribe button and the notification bell and that word all, please do so at this time. Yeah, I did a video for about an hour last night. And around 20 minutes inside of the video, my volume went down. Yeah, my volume head went down on the video. So I was just sitting there rambling on, talking. Hey, how you doing out there? Everybody out there in the chat room, I appreciate you. How are you doing? Thank you for tuning in, because you could have been doing something else with someone else. But you decided to stop by here to see what we had to say. So we're going to give you the information quick. Freedom of speech is in jeopardy. That's real. You can lose your channel, all of your hard work of years, because of something that you say on social media. You can be silenced just for speaking what's on your mind, what's in your brain, what's in your soul. They will chop you off. I was rambling on for like 40 minutes. But people couldn't hear me. And I got the messages in the comment section saying that we can't hear you, but my volume was up. So I figured maybe it was a little glitch, but I never turned my volume down. And I never did get to the meat of my conversation last night. But for all of you out there who did not know, Assata Shakur is dead at the age of 78. That's right, Assata Shakur. And if you are not familiar with who she is, I'm sure you heard of her name. She was the rapper's Tupac godmother and step-aunt. Afina, on the other hand, was his real mama, his birth mama, Afina Shakur. And we thought that Lumumba Shakur was Tupac's daddy, but it wasn't. Ooh. And that's why Tupac mama and daddy broke up. She was getting the disco wine from somebody else. while she was with Lumumba. Afina died at the age of 69. Afina's story is that after she grew up in North Carolina, she moved to New York. And that's where she met Bobby Seals at. You know, the co-founder of the Black Panther Party. That's where she met him at in Harlem. And they had started a chapter there in 1968, and in 1969, Afina, Tupac's biological mother, was placed in jail the following year. Cops, conspiracy against the government, just conspiracy, okay? And this is 1969. Now, 1961, after spending 2 years in facility, she was acquitted of all charges, and she left the Black Panthers like in 71. Shortly after that, she had Tupac, you know, got strung out on drugs at one point in her life. And hey, and we are back. Hey, we are trouble with the streaming, maybe because, but I do remember the last thing I talked about, and we were talking about Afina Shakur. Yeah, so hopefully you all have kept up. Okay, we're talking about Afina Shakur and how she left the Black Panther Party in 1971 after being acquitted of charges. After that, she had Tupac. Her and Tupac's dad broke up because Lumumba Shakur thought that he was Tupac's father, but comes to find out, like I said, he wasn't the father. So this is why, you know, he stepped away. Anyway, I forgot his name. Had it on the tip of my tongue last night, but I forgot his name. Billy something. Needless to say, in 1984, after going through trials and struggles and end up being hooked on drugs, Afina, who was also shot, no, excuse me, that was Assata. We'll get to her in a minute. But needless to say, Afina moved herself, Tupac, and a sister to Baltimore, and afterwards, Assata became his godmother, which she was already in the picture, but pretty much so took over. Tupac left, you know, went back, you know, New York, and it's Assata. Okay, but needless to say, here it is, Assata now, who is his godmother, in 1973 was with 2 other Black Panther members right there on New Jersey Turnpike. And they got stopped by some state troopers. And a gunfight ensued after the stop. Some people say that they had a broken tail light. Okay. Some people say that they were speeding. Okay. Some people say that they were stopped by the state troopers because of racial profiling. More than likely, that was it, okay? I don't know too many people who are smart and had to move under the radar like the Panthers did, would ride around in New Jersey on the turnpike in 1973 with a broken tail light. You know, you be the own judge of what you think happened according to your research. But needless to say, Assata was shot in her clavicle, and she was shot in her median nerve, which is on the right side of her arm, right above the wrist. Ended up paralyzing her. And they still put her in prison after lawmakers, you know, the prosecutor and the attorneys agreed that there's no way she could have fired a shot at anything. Not to mention the fact a Black Panther was killed that night and a state trooper was killed that night. One of the members ran off into the woods. Ericola was the last name. And Assata was shot. Okay, but she was taken to jail, and she was still convicted and went to prison for a couple of years. But in 1979, they broke her out of prison with the aid of armed activists. With the aid of armed activists. And when she escaped, she hit underground for a couple of years and then ventured off into Cuba. Yeah, Assata is dead at the age of 78. The injuries that she suffered during the gunshot wounds that took place over there on that turnpike in 1973 left her paralyzed in her right arm. But I want to keep going with this thing. So she went to Cuba, got political asylum in 1984. But in 2013, they put a $2 million bond out on her head. And the Cuban authorities would not turn her over. They would not extradite her. They knew what she represented. They knew what she stood for. So they did not hand Assata Shakur over. However, the great revolutionary, the Black Panther sister, is dead at the age of 78. And like I said, I was trying to get this out last night, but I didn't get a chance to. And for all of you that just jumped into the live, that didn't catch the first half, if you have a channel that was canceled because you left information out to people on YouTube about COVID-19, whether they say that you had misinformation or not enough medical information and your channel got suspended, you can get your channel back. Make sure you press the subscribe button, the notification bell, and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload videos here on YOUTUBE. That's right. And don't forget to press those condiments to like and to share. But moving right along, rest in peace, Assata Shakur. So now you know the difference between Assata, Afina. One died at 69, one died at 78. So he had two mamas, really, okay? And a whole lot of other people looking out for him. But needless to say, she's gone. And we're going to keep moving it right along. Joshua Jahn, 29-year-old Caucasian male, #1 domestic terrorist in America, did what down in Texas? Shot up the ICE office. Shot up the ICE office with the rifle. And he too was just like Tyler Robinson on a roof. Okay. And this Joshua Jahn, who was looking to obliterate the ICE facility, right there in Texas, because he hated the government, what it stood for, and what they were doing to the citizens of America. And he wanted to get rid of the immigrants too. 29 years old. What makes a 29-year-old? We just had a 23-year-old, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson who assassinated Charlie Kirk. And now a week, 2 weeks after that, 2 weeks, here it is, you got another white boy, Joshua Jahn, that shot up the ICE office, killing one detainee and injuring another, but no federal agents were injured. What makes a privileged 29-year-old Caucasian male who is the #1 domestic terrorist in America do such a thing in the ICE office, or to the ICE office, not in, but to it, and try to shoot the agents? That's where that place is over there. The next one, it's okay. Keep driving. So anyway, what would make him do that? Don't he know that he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail? Are these people MK Ultra? Are the whole thing, or is the whole thing staged to incite fear, to incite the government that they need more protection with their federal employees like the president and his cabinet? Is this a hoax? Are they pulling one over our eyeballs? Are they really? It can be that. Do not rule that out. Who we got out here? What you say? Now I got a sun glare. I can't see the people that's in the chat room. Neo Hip Hop. Bro, do you know Nepal? What, in India? What's going on? I want to appreciate everybody out there. Like I said, we had complications doing the stream and everything, doing this live, but we want to thank you for being here today, because you could have been somewhere else with someone else doing something else, okay? So we want to thank you for being here. The last 3 lives that I done have come out terrible, but the numbers were great. From my standpoint, could have been higher last night, but they say that they couldn't hear me and my volume was up. And we just had another connection problem here for about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. And the night before, when I was at the casino with my guys, yeah, in Satan's house, you know, my visuals, the video, ended up being blurry and all of this good stuff, you know, bad stuff. But the volume, you know, my voice, you can still hear it clearly. But here we are, back again, talking about the #1 terrorist in America, Joshua Jahn. Now, let me ask y'all a question out there. If you was privileged in a country to do certain things and get away with certain things and not suffer consequences too much for your actions, because if domestic terrorists did receive consequences for their actions, a lot of people, meaning white males, will not be out here in the streets, in the public, in society. They will be locked up. But that's not the case. So what was Joshua Jahn so upset with the government about? Even Tyler Robinson, as being another example, was tired of the government. Timothy McVeigh, the veteran, was tired of the government. The Unabomber, another white male, tired of the government. But they say that black people are the criminals. What a world we live in. Would you yourself, if I was a white person and I was a privileged white person, there's no way that I'm going to do anything against the government. I'm privileged. I'm white. And I can get away just about with anything that I want to. But I'm going to go against the people who done looked out for me? Would you do that? Would you do that if you were a Caucasian male? Most Caucasians would say no. That's why they still out here. The #1 terrorist. I'm just saying. Y'all think about that. Why is ICE so hated in America? Why do people don't like ICE? Shouldn't that tell the government something, seeing that you all put them into office, or they tricked you and made you think that you put them in office. There's a lot of going on in America. Racial tensions, racial war. That is the agenda. Racial war. That is the agenda. And it just don't seem to be going their way right now. You don't see black people killing ICE. You may have had someone in Chicago that was ICE protesting that took a swing at the police, but they didn't attack ICE. But you had protesters outside of ICE office in Broadview. Now, those ICE agents were slamming people down, tear gassing them, doing all of the, unthinkables. If you was a white boy, would you, shoot up the ICE place, knowing that you're going to die or spend the rest of your life in prison? What makes a white boy who's privileged want to throw away his life at the age of 29? I'm just saying. Y'all think about that. I have no clue. Donald Trump. Who did what? Not only did he cut people's food stamps, but he cut the National Report for Hunger. The annual report that would come out. Yeah, he took that away too. And you have all of these people around the country that has food pantries that is having problems with that. How is it that you can't see, or they don't want you to know, how many hungry people they have in America? How many children go to sleep or wake up to no food? Luckily, some places have those school meals, which they're trying to cut as well. But however, this is what's going on in America. The home of the free, the home of the brave, the home of hypocrisy. The home of hypocrisy. So what do you do? What do you do? I know that there's more than one person in the live. I don't know how many people out there, but it don't matter. If it was just one, I would still be saying what I'm saying. And I would teach as hard just for the one if I had 500. That's how much we love you and we appreciate you here on this channel. THEMOSHOW Chicago. And the amount of videos shows my dedication to this channel and information that I bring you all. So there's no question there. But you got gatekeepers, not only in the music industry, but here on YOUTUBE as well. You got gatekeepers. And they have ways to, slow your channel down, make you feel like you're a failure. But you keep going, because I keep going. And YouTube, where is my PIN number? I'm still waiting on my PIN number, YouTube. I'm not going to keep you all long on this live. Like I said, my last 3 lives have got jammed. Either YouTube cut the sound down or my visualization went bad, or a reconnection signal. The reconnection I can understand because I'm on the road. But I love you all out there. Thanks for viewing. And if you haven't went over to my other channel, MOPOWERZ here on YOUTUBE, go check out those audiobook series that we left for you all. Stolen Legacy, Black Man of the Nile and His Family, From Babylon to Timbuktu, As a Man Thinketh, The Destruction of Black Civilization, Message to the black man in America, the fall of America, the demonology of King James, the miseducation of the Negro, the world's 16 crucified saviors. Get yourself over to that channel. And if you are into Chicago old school, anything, hip hop, gangster rap, spoken word, comedy, independent movies, go to my last channel, THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space here on YOUTUBE, and find the likes of Diane Corder, Dion Cole, Reggie Reg, Shari, Quintella, Daryl Banks, Twister, Shauna, and Dub, Crucial Conflict, Psychodrama, Drama Ward, Triple Darkness, Black Hole Entertainment, Mecca, Big Taz, The Nomads, Mano, High Pilot. Get yourselves over there to THEMOSHOW Classics, all one word, no space here on YOUTUBE, and view that channel. And on your way out the door, make sure that you hit the subscribe button, the notification bell, and the word all to help ensure that you get notifications when we upload videos here on YOUTUBE. And also press those condiments to like and to share. Yeah, I'm looking, where I'm going. I'm sorry about that. Share the information with relatives, friends, co-workers, anyone that you come into contact with. It is a magnificent way to jumpstart your conversation. We got more videos coming up later on today, you all. Keep watching. Keep looking for those alerts and notifications. Peace out, you all. Never give up on your DREAMS. And that's my time for right now.